Hello, my name is Margaret Adele, and did you know I'm part of a squad? It's true! After a year of joining Booktube Discords and trying to find my people, I finally found them in a Twitter group chat. It is called the Booktube Hype Squad, put together by Ali from Nature of Pages, and it is fantastic. The Zoom calls have saved me during quarantine. It's been a ton of fun, and we were all talking one day about how our lives are kind of gonna get crazy come the fall through school or work or something else, and wouldn't it be fun to do one last hurrah of summer reading with a 24-hour readathon. So, welcome to the Booktube Hype Squad 24-hour readathon. This video will hopefully be part of a playlist, and you can go check out everyone else's videos, and I'm just excited to be doing a thing with friends, because that's nice. Now, I have done a 24-hour readathon before, and it wasn't too horrible. I stayed up mostly throughout the night. I think I got like 2 hours of sleep. But I didn't actually like the books I read all that much. Of the 4 I read, I think the highest I gave was like a 3-star. So I'm trying to be more on top of things, read exactly the kind of things that I know I like. So it's going to be a lot of indie stuff. And I do have not so much a TBR, but a short list. And so I'm going to go over that real quick so this video isn't too long. First up is Cosmic Faces by Linnea H., an indie poetry collection, because poetry collections are just great for this kind of thing. Just for Clicks by Kara McDowell, a YA contemporary about social media. Living My Truth by Destiny Smith, an indie memoir of a woman that discovered she was HIV positive while pregnant. This is also a local author for me from Davenport, so I really want to support her. Mask of Silence by Alex Gates, your typical bunch of teens accidentally awake ancient evil that's now hunting them horror. Gay Love and Other Fairy Tales by Dylan James, a YA contemporary about an MLM relationship in a high school. And The Brock Connection by Estelle Ryan, the third in the Genevieve Leonard series, all about a young woman with autism who helps solve crimes using her skills working with like an art insurance agency. I'm not entirely sure what she does. But that is my short list as it is. I also have my ringers, my palette cleansers, which are grocery store romances. I love just pulling one of these out. I got them both for $1. So I might actually go completely off the rails and read a ton of other things. I might stick to that religiously. I have no expectations for how many things I'm going to read. I am not staying up through the night because, as I learned, while it doesn't necessarily hurt like my physical form all that much, staying up through the night saps my focus away so that by the time it is daylight, I want to just chill and veg out. So sleeping through the night mostly, might stay up a little bit to like 1 a.m. to get it going, but I'm super excited and I really hope this vlog isn't too long. So let's jump in. Alright, it is after 11. I am gearing up for everything to start. I actually got an arc that I was really looking forward to today, which is actually a series of short stories by Travis Bedoin. They are lighthearted, gay erotica, and I usually don't do review books because I don't want to rush through them. However, as these are so light and as they are short stories, and as I've loved the first 3 that I've read, I'm going to break them up and kind of use them to intersperse throughout the day. So I'm going to start tonight with Throw Hips, which is 24 pages. I counted without reading, and I am also hoping to get to Living My Truth, which is 57 pages. Altogether, that is 81 pages. So the idea is that I am going to start reading exactly at midnight, and I am either going to read both of these or go to bed at 1 a.m., whichever happens first. And if I could read both of these, I'm going to get this started off on a fantastic foot. Officially done with Living My Truth, and it's not even 12:30, so I'm doing really well. It was a really quick read. The grammar was fairly off. I don't think I saw a question mark once, even though it did ask questions. It was also written in AAVE, which gave it a really nice voice, and I really appreciated that one. But yeah, some of the grammar choices and the lack of punctuation really got to me, and I had to reread some parts, but it was a very powerful story. And I specifically like the line where she said, I have HIV, HIV does not have me. I thought that was really cool. And we're done fairly early-ish with this one, so I can move on to the first short story and hopefully be in bed earlier than anticipated. And I am done with Throw Hips. It was a lot darker than the other erotica stories before it. and I don't even know if it's exactly my thing, but I am working for the end. I want the 8th story when Bryce's husband comes back, because this is the whole point of this. He does it because it's like their kink and their relationship is so cute, so I'm looking forward to that. But it is like 12:45. I am tired. I've gotten technically 2 books read, at least is what Goodreads counts them as, even though together they don't even end up to 100 pages. But I'm tired. I'm going to bed. The next time you see me, I will probably look a lot more put together. The towel turban is back. It is, I think, around 9 a.m. I didn't sleep super well, but I'm feeling pretty decent. I think I might do the poetry collection this morning just because I can get through that pretty quick. I also have to make sure the little is ready for the day. We also have the farmer's market. It's a lot going on, but I am excited to keep going. I think I could really get a lot done today if I push, so let's get started.
I can't think of his name. The actor.
It has been a morning. The little really didn't want to get ready for the day, so that was a little bit of an argument, and then I had to get breakfast, and then I had to do my Duolingo, and then we went to the farmer's market. But at the farmer's market, I spilled my ice mocha down my shirt, so I had to change when we got home. But I did manage to finish my poetry collection, Cosmic Phase by Lene H., which was really nice. Even though it was a poetry book, it was a little bit sadder at parts than the other one, but there was like this whole section that was like all political, and another section that was like all about the beauty of women and the strength of women. So I really appreciated that one. Was not quite as sapphic, but if I remember correctly, I believe Lene went through a period where she believed herself to be bisexual before discovering that she was in fact a lesbian, so I think that's where that comes from. But regardless, I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. I think I like her other poetry collection more, which is nice because that's the one I have the physical copy of, but I'm glad I have this one too. So I would highly suggest this one if you're into poetry but you don't want a lot of sad modern poetry. Like, there is some sad stuff, but it's also a lot of like hard stuff and good juicy stuff. There was an entire poem about why should women shave their legs when God grew the hair on there in the first place. I loved it. It was awesome. So many quotes. But now I need to eat lunch. Didn't get to the short story yet. I'll probably do that first thing after lunch. I also forgot that because there are reviews, I have to do a review for every short story as I read them, which isn't too bad. It's only a couple paragraphs. I don't do the full like 7 paragraphs for, a 24-page short story, but I just forgot that part, so now that's going to be a little bit harder to read those. But I'm really happy another book has read. I think that technically puts me up to 3 if we're counting the short stories as their own separate things, but even if we're not, that's still 2, and it's just now lunch, so I'm happy. Alright, I finished another one of the short story collections. I've also done my writing for the day, and yes, the queer medieval romance is coming along well. Thank you for asking. And I just realized that because Goodreads counts each of the short stories as separate books, that I am 1 book away from beating my year-long challenge, even though I'm not considering them all different books. Like, when I record it, I'll consider all 4 the same entity because it's basically novella-sized. But I was like, I really don't want it something super short or super, I just read this to read this type of book to be my 100th. So I pulled out a book that I found in a thrift store, and it still counts towards my hipster cred, and that is Kill the Boy Band by, I believe it is Goldie Moldavsky. This is a dark comedy all about this group of fangirls that quote-unquote accidentally kidnap a member of their favorite boy band, and I'm in love with that idea. Even like the opening is like, this is not a fan fiction, this is real life. And I love how self-aware it is. It's also over 300 pages, so this one is going to take me a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if it took me most of the afternoon, but I don't have a lot else to do today besides guitar and a half hour on the exercise bike, which I can read during anyway. So let's jump in. So I am actually a little over halfway done, and it's not even 2:30, so I can definitely get this finished by dinner, probably start a new one, but I can see why this has such a low rating on Goodreads. It is not a favorable depiction of fangirls. The band in the book, the Ruperts, is basically a ripoff of One Direction, made from a contest and bubblegum pop, and they accidentally kidnapped the ugly one, apparently, and all 4 of the girls are basically obsessed to the point of it being exceedingly unhealthy. But they also talk about how all of them have something in their lives where there's a reason for their obsessive love. You know, one character's dad died, one character's parents are divorced, one character grows up very lonely as an only child of an older couple, one character comes from a family with, you know, not so great criminal backgrounds. But in general, it talks about how, like, it's not a healthy thing to be this obsessed with a boy band that you get furious when they have girlfriends and you raid their hotel rooms. And it actually reminds me of when we were talking about the Beatles in one of my museum studies classes, how in America, part of Beatlemania was actually directly reflected of the assassination of JFK, how people loved this one person and then suddenly there was a vacuum and now there was this new thing to love. So I'm actually really enjoying this. But I am not a fangirl. I never was. There is one band that I like more than any other, and like I'm part of an online fan group, but I've never like even stayed out past a concert just to see them. I think I've gone to like 2 concerts of theirs. So if you are a fangirl, you probably wouldn't like this one. But if you're kind of just like slightly amazed and also scared of fangirl culture, I would suggest this book. And I am officially done with Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky. It was a nice twist at the end. I appreciated it. And then I was reading the author's note, and she was talking about how, like, oh, it's an ode to everything I loved growing up. And I was like, y'all realize how you betrayed, like, fangirls in this, right? Like, no one comes out of this looking good. But I appreciated it. I also appreciated that I have another book done, and it's, like, just now 3:30. I might actually go on a walk just for fun. And my husband is literally standing here. Are you waiting to make a cameo in the vlog?
I don't do cameos for free anymore.
Okay. Well, while I scrounge out the money to pay my husband to be in my vlog, apparently, I'm going to go take a walk, and I will probably start the next short story after I get back. I am on short story number 3. Did I mention that or the second one earlier? I can't remember. Actually, is it 4? Wow. Losing my mind. No, it's 3. Okay. So, I will check in with you then. I lied. I read the short story before I went on the walk, but then I got back and I was like, crap, what am I reading next? I have to make a decision, and nothing fluffy and cozy sounded good, so I'm going with a horror, because why not? I went through my book club emails and I found 314 by A.R. Weiss, a story about a woman who is traumatized by the death or disappearance, she's not sure, of her brother 16 years prior. It has to do with March 14th and the time 314, but she doesn't know any more than that, other than it involves a skeleton man. It sounds creepy. I read the first few pages and it looks good, but also I kind of have to go practice guitar and eat dinner. I got a lot going on, but I think this is the next book I'm going to go with. So I've read about 100 pages of 314. Pretty decent. Some light slut shaming that I'm not a fan of, but the plot is interesting. I'm not necessarily intrigued in a lot of the characters, but I need to go practice guitar real quick. I'm probably not going to add it to the vlog. Maybe if I get like real confident, but then I gotta do a half hour on my exercise bike because I've been keeping up with that and I'm really proud of myself, and I can read while I do it. So I might show you a little bit of that. I can definitely have this read by the end of the night. I'm hesitant if I can get this and another book read. I might try to dig up like a 200-page shifter romance. That might work, but we'll see. I am officially finished. I finished 314. I can't decide if I want to continue with it or not because the characters, while decent and had a lot of lovable moments, would also like do other things that's like, I'm not sure if that I can fully like you. And in a horror, that's like half the scare, is liking the people and not wanting anything to happen to them. And also the actual like 314 got really trippy in the explanation, and this is the beginning of a trilogy, so there's 2 more books. I'll put it on the back burner for now. Maybe if I really want to come back to some more horror later, I'll do it then. But it is almost 9, so this is usually the time when I write in my journal. I've also got to write in my workout log, so I've got to do that, some things, maybe watch a little bit of YouTube just to kind of like give my mind a reset before I jump into the next book. I got to read the next short story, then I need to find another book, which is getting fairly late, so I definitely need to make it some indie shifter romance, and then I have to read the other story. It's weird for me because usually by this time I'm done reading for the day. I've read my 150 pages and I call it good. So my brain is like, it is not a reading time, it is YouTube and playing that one mobile game time. And it's hard to like nope, we still got 1 more book and 2 more short stories to go. Keep at it, brain. But hopefully I can push through and make this work. Hello, I am laying on the couch. I finished the next short story and I realized that I have like 2.5 hours before midnight to read a whole nother book and the other short story, and I still haven't written the review for the last short story, but that might wait until tomorrow. So I went looking through the indie books that I have on my phone, actually, because my e-reader is dying, and decided to pick Ghost of a Chance by Kate Dean. This is a nice cozy mystery under 200 pages, so this is going to give you the best chance of not only finishing it, but finishing it with enough time to finish the last of the short stories, and that's the one I'm looking the most forward to, so I really want it to be good. But I'm going to be reading on my phone while lying down, so really hope I don't fall asleep. I have a blanket now. It's not even that late. It's like 11-ish. I still have another hour, which is plenty of time to get the short story read, but I'm tired. But it was a really cute, cozy mystery. Very short, but the romance was so sweet, and I always love books that are surrounding like history and historical objects, because that's what my degrees are in. I have a bachelor's in history and a master's in museum studies, so like I could easily see myself running a cozy antique shop that was bequeathed to me by a dead elderly relative in England, which is the setup for a remarkable amount of cozy mysteries. But I will definitely be keeping this one on. I think I found a new cozy mystery series to add, which is great because the other one was starting to bug me after like book 4. So yay. And now I gotta read the other short story, and I'm feeling really happy right now. I am done and also very tired. It is 11:30. I have finished Reclaimed by Travis Badone, the last in the short story collection, and it lived up to the hype. I was reading it to be like, they love each other so much. It was so good. And FYI, the reason, if you're wondering why I haven't really talked about the short stories a lot over the course of this, is because they're literally erotica, but like erotica with little L's. Like the point of the short story is the sex scene. So there's not a lot to talk about unless you're really comfortable with that kind of thing. And I'll already be doing a review of all of them together. So if you're really interested, you can watch, well, right now you could go watch the first one I did for the first 3 in the series, and then you can watch this one when it comes out. So I'm super proud of myself. If I consider all of the short stories together one solid book, then I read 6 books today. I don't know how many pages that is. I am going to be doing a full wrap-up tomorrow, but for now, I am tired, and it is time for bed. So it is Sunday afternoon. I'm still feeling a little burnt out, honestly. I don't know if I'm going to be reading anything today, and if I do, it's probably going to be the sequel to Ghost of a Chance, because that one just really hit me. Regardless, I have looked over my stats, and I am going to count all of these short stories by Travis Bowdoin as one single entity, seeing as it was one single PDF, and I really think that he should bundle them all up in one short story collection anyway. And that would mean my total amount of books read yesterday is 6, with a total page count of 1,147. And I am super proud about that one. And in general, this 24-hour readathon went so much better. Not every book was a winner. 314 I Could Take or Leave. Living My Truth was a really cool idea, but the grammar and punctuation problems were enough to keep me from fully diving in. But for the most part, this was a better readathon than the last one I tried, and I have been like formulating some things as to why, and I think I'm going to do some kind of pro tip for doing a 24-hour readathon video, including sleep during the night. But anyway, I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed getting to do something with my fellow Booktube Hype Squad mates, squatters. I don't know what we call ourselves. But thank you so much for watching. If you've ever tried anything like this, please let me know. I want to see how other people fare doing this kind of thing. If you are part of a bookish group yourself, let me know. I feel like we should all have our people in the community. But with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.